What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. We are here tonight with Shawn Soland. We're going to talk about what he's got going on out at Bottineau, if I say it right. I know I've been corrected a few times. But we're going to talk about the unified rules that he's going to be running. He's running both full-size and compact unified rules, which all of the just for fun, I don't know if it's all the shows, but I know they're running the unified rules. I know that JP Sweet with Low County's running them. I know that WFO is running them. That's going to open up a whole front there on the left side, or on the left side, east side of the state, for North Dakota, west side for Minnesota. I'm not a builder, but it sounds to me like you'll be able to run your cars more than once, and they won't have to sit in the weeds for 4 years while you wait for another show to show up with your rules. This show is for his daughter, who had passed after an accident, and I would really like to start seeing more cars go support this show. She was a derbier. She ran those. I mean, her sister, Sean's other daughter, she ran was it last year? I don't know. Everything's all blurry. But anyway, I have video of her running over on YouTube. And Sean's a great guy. If you want to stand behind somebody and support them, Shawn is definitely the guy. Gotten to hang out with him a little bit at the shows. I've actually gotten to hang out with him more out and about. He's surprised me with a 3-hour drive once and came and watched a Minnesota show and kind of hung out with us while we were filming. Well, after we were filming, in between we were filming, which was cool because not very many people will actually make that kind of drive to come say hi or hang out. Or there's only one other guy that ever. Well, I shouldn't say one other guy. There's a couple, but one other guy would have been JP Sweet, who's killing it right now out there on the ice. If you're looking for an ice or a sleeper to go kind of hang out and do some ice fishing all night. I've had a long day. Brain's not really all here. You're just going to have to excuse me. But I guess with that being said, I didn't have an updated video for Shawn. And last year was some great footage. You can go back over and watch that on YouTube. But I am going to bring him in here. And we're going to talk about this show and see what's going on. Dates have changed. Some of the rules have changed. Good dude, though. There's quite a bit of money involved. So if you want to support a good guy and a good show, tune in. How's it going, Shawn?
Oh, not bad. You?
I'm doing all right. This program's a little bit different than the last one I was using.
Yeah.
But so tell me about your show. I mean, what do you got going on new this year from last year? And
well, the main changes are, it's always been a Sunday show ever since I've been just little. And this year we've got it.
It made it hard for us to travel on that show, but we did it.
Yeah. No, we appreciate the no sleep that you guys did for a couple of years there coming out here.
I think we're going to end up doing it no matter where we go. We just would rather spend those no sleep drives on somebody as good as you.
Well, I appreciate it. No, this year we've got it moved to a Saturday. It'll be Saturday, June 20th. And we're going to pull out a couple tires after the derby's over and make sure the garbage is picked up. Pull out a couple tires so you can get in and out of the beer gardens, and we'll have some live music and party in the dirt there in the derby ring.
Well, the last few years, we'd get done with the derby and we'd look over to go get some food and everything was closed.
Yeah, not this year.
Food was closed. I mean, it was like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. And it was a ghost town as far as that past the derby,
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of hotel space in town here and stuff. So these guys that want to come from a ways away, they can come and take in the concert and not have to hurry back that night so they can go to work next morning,
Yeah, Tom Russell from Utah is on here saying, "What's up, buddy?" I don't know if you get to meet another good dude if you ever run into Tom. So I actually just was looking for the hat. He had one of his Bent Brother hats on at Gold Rush, and I was like, "Where in the world do I get one of those?" Well, I believe it was merch from the year before, and they didn't get it in time, so he brought them with or whatever. He took. I had a different destruction, a DB hat. Can't even say the words. Jesus. And he just took mine off, put it on his head, and put his on mine, and goes, "There you go."
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty nice hat. One of these days, I'll be organized and know where everything is at.
I know you won't.
No, I won't. Sam Crowell's on too.
Hey, Sam.
You know, he's one of the ones that you went in with the unified uh,
Yep. Yeah, we were.
points, not points, rules.
Yeah, we were planning on keeping our rules the same as last year, just a plain stock set of rules. And I don't know. We talked to a lot of drivers and talking with Sam and stuff, and we just decided that the best route to go for the drivers and the sport itself was to jump on board with these guys that I've been talking with since early last summer, and just get on board with them and keep everything the same. You know, I'm sure after the year is over, there might be a few tweaks here and there to do, but you know, all around, I think it's a good base set of rules to start with.
Yeah, I mean, and everything's got to start somewhere. You know,
Yeah,
as you move forward and you realize that, hey, I don't like this, or this isn't explained well enough there. Or it's just how it is.
yeah,
I mean, as long as you got that base set rules, adding extra specification that wasn't there or might not have been there isn't a isn't a terrible thing to do because you're not really changing any rules. You're just specifying.
right.
I know
Yeah, no,
you
we're gonna
build some
run this
big
the
cars.
same. What's that?
I said you build some pretty big cars.
Oh, I don't build them as hard as a lot of guys out there. I'm still. I guess I started derbying too long ago or something.
You're fun to watch. I seen you pretty much vertical on the bank and at the North Dakota State Fair, and you still pulled off and didn't do that bad.
There's just a little luck involved with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, tell me about everything you got going on.
Well, we're gonna run just the unified rules in both the compact and the full size. So we'll have a full size class, um, the compact class, and then we're gonna run a youth class this year. It'll be 11 to 16-year old, and then that'll be a full size class. You run the same full size rules as the rest of them.
So, are these kids have they driven before? Is this their first time? How does that work?
I know there's at least 3 coming this summer for the youth class that have never been in a demo car before.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean, I wanted to give a decent payout to them too. So, you know, we're running 1,500 for first, 1,000 for second, and 500 for third, just for the youth class. And got a couple guys that have offered to donate some wheels and different things to give away to those youth drivers too. So,
I love to see that. I love to see the after we went down to the youth nationals, and it was in a new place this year, so it was you ain't gonna get the full audience you would have. Plus, there's like 20 derbies there all summer long, so people get burnt out and don't show up. But the youth nationals, I've never seen so much drive than those kids that made it there. They were, I mean, middle. It was 3 in the morning. We're walking around ready to pass out because we're just cooked from. I was sitting in a heated van all day, and James be out in the sun on a camera or whatever, and we were just walking around taking little short reels, and these kids are out there grinding and cutting and trying to cheat but getting caught because Frankie's techs are no joke, that's for sure. I
yeah.
heard a story from one of the kids that they had brought welded struts and they weren't allowed to run welded struts.
Oh,
And the tech sat there for 15 minutes, rubbing his finger on the top around that strut. And he goes, "All right, change the struts. That's cheated."
No, and those young ones are fun to watch too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they, you could have, if you get 5 cars in that youth class, even that's probably one of the heats that's going to make the show.
Oh yeah. Well, like that. The first time I ran, I might as well been a youth. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody showed me how to crappie flop when you get in an accident or when you hit somebody. But the we had 6 cars and it was scary as hell out there. I mean, cars were wide open coming across the track. Thankfully,
Yeah,
nobody wanted to hurt me on my first time out there. But
yeah. The only difference with the youth rules compared to the regular full size class is we're going to allow you to do up your passenger door like the driver's side, so that they can have a parent or an uncle or whatever ride in the passenger side with them.
that's nice. I mean, I got to watch at the first youth nationals. There was a kid. I swear to God, no bigger than a bean. I don't even know how he reached the pedals. His dad must have put extensions on him. And that kid went out there and they were horsing around. I mean, they're just young. They must have been 8, 9 years old. And I know he got hit pretty hard, and the tears were flying. But he had
Mm.
more fun than he had. He was just scared.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's a guy that used to, well, he grew up in Bottineau here, that he gave both his boys demo cars to get ready for Bottineau for Christmas, and I got a couple pictures of that. They were pretty happy.
Oh, I bet that's awesome. We're gonna have to raid some of them secret stashes here pretty soon, huh?
Yeah,
Prices are getting up there.
yes, they are.
You're
And
gonna
the
start.
other thing we're going to offer to those youth drivers is the winner of that youth heat can advance to the feature with the other guys if he chooses to.
I really like that because like you guys did that with the old timers, and I mean it's just if it's too rowdy with those guys, you don't have to run. But if you
Yeah,
want to,
yep, the options there. And even though the youth drivers that don't win the first place, if they want to go on into the consolation, that, I mean, they're allowed to keep going if they want, just like the rest of the drivers. So
well, I just realized that I shot half my podcast with the We Crash background here. Terrible. Uh, I know it don't really matter, but I don't know how I made it. I was in a hurry, long day at work.
yeah.
But you want to catch those kids off guard. Bring up We Crash TV and go to the Utah show and show them the youth national or the youth drivers over there.
Well, we don't want to scare them.
So when I went out to Utah and I watched the way those guys drove it's a horse ring. That's what it is, right? It's a horse ring
Yeah.
and or a bull ring, whatever. And those cars, they hook up and go. They swear to God, they got paddles on them and just gone. But I couldn't figure out how these guys would just drive like they didn't care, wide open, break a motor, $22,000 motor, whatever. Then I seen the kids drive, and I was like, "Oh, this has been going on since they were born." I see.
Yeah.
But they don't care. Your friend, not your friend. There's not a whole lot of team driving going on. Once in a while, you'll see 2 people working together, but it's so rare that I mean, out here you go to any derby and you'll see it. You go out there and there's very little people that do it because the crowd will boo them.
I'm sure. Yeah, you see some team driving once in a while, but I don't think you do so much around here in the youth drivers either, because I think they
Right.
think it's kind of fun to go rail their friend out there.
So when I went out, everybody else was black. I didn't know what I was hitting. First guy I hit was Teddy Plant, and I'm friends with him.
Yeah.
Just beeline him right in the back strut, broke that, and then ended up. I hit CJ Zacharias into the wall, and I just put it in reverse and was getting the hell out of there because I didn't know. I hear another car coming, and it was wound up tight as a rubber band. And I got out of there, spun the front end around, and I hit him in the front tire or something and broke his tie rod. Oh, he was not happy with me.
I'm sure.
It was
Well,
fun though.
sometimes having too many friends in there, it's more of a pain than anything because
Oh,
if you've been
absolutely.
in the sport for a few years and you know everybody, you almost have to just go out there and hit everybody because you don't know who you should
Yeah,
hit.
that's that's it too. It's I think that's what happens in Minnesota. That's why you start seeing all these people driving these big shows. They're trying to get away from their friends, or at least be able to drive with people that ain't going to complain and cry to them for months afterwards.
Right.
That's one of the big things Sam Bando told me because I was like, I didn't. He drives out to Utah all the time, runs all those shows.
Yeah.
And when I seen him out there, I was like, why do you drive so far? He's like, because I can drive how I want.
Right.
If you get knocked out in a car, like it's like high five, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody gets terribly mad about it, and I do know it's a lot different terrain too, though. I mean, you what kind of track do you guys have? It's just hard pack, right?
Yeah.
Or is it
Just a
clay?
hard pack clay.
And then like here, even though it's hard pack clay, a lot of the times if it rains or whatever, then you get real sinky in it. I know your track's really hard there where it's at.
Yeah. Or one of our main sponsors for the last many years, Mickelson Aggregate, they come in a few years ago and they did a good job getting the base of that track put together for us.
Yeah, no, it definitely. I mean, like any track, it's going to have some rocks here or there, but you guys go through and you pick them up, throw them off.
Yeah. Yeah. The only downfall to our track is it's not a huge track, but we're kind of limited on between a ditch and the beer gardens and everything. We're
Yeah,
limited on how much space we have.
yeah, they kind of shove you guys right in there. I thought the dirt clods coming up were going to hit the kids off of the carousel on that last show.
Yeah. The fair midway company that we had, they screwed up a little bit and they put that way closer than they were supposed to.
Yeah, no, as you imagine though, it'd be something if you caught it on camera would make America's Funniest Home Videos if they still have it.
Probably.
It's terrible, but I would laugh. I'm sorry. When I was at Dakota Destruction last year, I had a bunch of problems the first day where I was losing power like my generator kept kicking off, wouldn't turn back on, and so I went right down to the simple, the normal when I stand outside with my streamer and everything like that. I got hit right in the unit with a clod about this big, and it was coming off. I want to say it was Bernstein's car, and he was ripping it around to try to get after them. The Chrysler Imperial.
Oh,
So they were really on it, ripping it around, trying to get it. And he hit me, and I flipped the camera over to James, and I stayed off camera for a while because I could barely stand.
just wanted to make sure you're awake.
Yeah, well, I was wide awake. Oh Jesus, I've had a lot. I've had quite a few things like that happen in the time that I've been doing all this.
Yeah.
So what do you like we had talked before? Is it's kind of sparsely kind of the population for Derby up there as people have moved around and whatnot, and I think, well, even Austin Derringer, who's in here. Oh, he said he's looking to bring over a youth or two
That'd be awesome.
since it's on a Saturday. But yeah, he I know he had they have the same problem. They're kind of every town's like 2 hours apart out there. So
Yeah. And I mean, in North Dakota here, there's a lot of these towns that are pretty close together and stuff. But as far as the drivers that are in the sport, you almost have to have a show that people are willing to travel a little ways for just to get a half decent car count.
right.
Hey, Luann.
Yeah, I had to make sure I put that on there.
Yeah.
No, but
That's my cousin.
your guys' payouts tend to be quite a bit higher than like the Minnesota regular like county fair shows too.
Yeah, I've noticed looking at the different advertisements and stuff, it seems like they're a little bit higher over here. And
I
I mean,
mean,
this payout I've got this year is, I think, is more than fair enough for everybody. $21,000 total purse, and
Uh,
that's thanks to the fair board there and all the great sponsors around here. I mean, I've got so many sponsors that come up, and most of them will get a hold of me and ask me if there's a way they could sponsor the Derby. So
yeah, I there we go. I got it fixed. Um, we had unless you got somebody who has that money in the bank, whether it be a fair board or whatever, it's really hard to come up with that money. I mean, everybody thinks sponsors pay for everything, and they do help a lot. But I've seen shows not have any sponsors at all. People were pulling it right out of their pocket, or fair boards, 100%.
yeah,
And unfortunately, as we've all found out, whether it comes from video or promoting, you need a village to
oh
do
yeah,
all this.
yeah. Because I mean, you try and plan ahead for close to what you're going to have for a car count or what you hope to have, and kind of base your payouts off that plus your sponsors. So if you got 5 cars that show up and you were hoping to have 15 cars, you got still got to pay the drivers that money. So
Yeah. And you guys have done that every time that we've been there. If there was a class that was short um, in the past,
yeah,
where I don't know if you've been watching Facebook or anything on Derby lately, but that seems to be one of those issues is
oh yeah.
people getting paid.
I've seen a few things coming from, well, one spot in particular that it seems like it was kind of hard to get your money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I can only imagine what it takes to put one of those on. But if you ain't 100%, it's not a gamble you really want to take. You really should take.
Right,
It can hurt the sport and everybody you love a lot more than it can hurt just passing by it until the next time, until you know for sure.
right. And I guess I try and estimate just a little bit on the low side, and if I have a little bit of money left over, then I end up, trying to, somebody that volunteers to come and do sound or whatever, you throw them a little extra or whatever you can do.
Right,
Because I guess I don't do it for the money myself. I don't take that money home with me. I make sure that somebody gets it.
right. I've been missing Dwayne. Dwayne's usually the guy that's always on here talking, and he's good at it. And he helped me get out of my shell a little bit. But I'm a long ways from Dwayne being able to be Dwayne on and talking and stuff like that. He's been busy, living the married life.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping to see him out and about more this year. I told him when he came with me to the youth nationals. I told him I was like, you any show you want to go to, just tell me where you're coming. Like you don't got to ask me, just tell me you're coming. I'll find a spot in the van for you.
Oh yeah. No, Dwayne, he seems to be the life of the party when he's around.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely miss him, but I mean, when you meet somebody who's your life partner, you make sure you spend that time with them.
Oh yeah.
We're not getting any younger, that's for sure.
Don't feel like it either.
I fell out of the garbage truck last winter, and it took me 2 months to be able to bend over again. That's and I'm only 41. I can only imagine what's going to happen when I'm 80. I'll fall down. I'll probably shatter a hip, and my leg will fold in half. And oh God, who knows?
I'll find myself lucky if I get that old.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'll probably die much younger. At least I hope so, because either you die young as a hero or you grow old and become the villain. So I mean,
Yeah.
Dewey hit destruction. Yeah, Dewey's is going to Dakota Destruction for sure. I actually have a split show that day. Dewey will be going to Destruction, and I'll be heading for Iowa. And Randall and all of them are coming over there. You might even see Randall out in Bottineau. Um, I don't know if you've met him yet. I think you did over at JP's show.
I think
Big,
I did over
big,
there.
tall, beefy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to. He came, started talking to me one day about it, and he's like, "I really like what you're doing. I really support it. I want to do it." And now he's doing it, and he's good at it. So,
Well, that's a good deal.
and Dwayne, on the other hand, he could do anything. I mean, he'll wing it and he'll land it
Yeah.
perfect, you know. So, but I threw him behind a camera, or he jumped on a camera, and at Youth Nationals, he did awesome. Him, James, everybody was good. I have a hard time handling my emotions.
Yeah.
I've been working on it, but I get stressed out, and I'm probably not exactly a pleasant person to be next to. So, but those guys have dealt with me pretty good. Dwayne was always my he always kind of kept my bobber above water, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, everybody needs one of those friends.
Oh, absolutely. I know that if I called him at 2 in the morning and told him I was in the dire need of his help, he'd show up. He wouldn't even ask what. Who we
Yeah.
burying? Oh, we kind of got a kick out of it because, like, when he took a break and he was, doing the wife and the husband thing, and we heard so many rumors just floating around.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't even know where they come from, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, it doesn't take much for a rumor to get started.
if you're really friends with somebody, you're really good friends with somebody, people can spread all the rumors they want. All you
Yeah.
do is sit back and laugh because you know better.
Yeah. Oh, and then we're gonna do our raffle car again this year for scholarships.
And you guys have been just giving it to the schools.
It turned out really good last year between a couple of the drivers putting some of the money back, and then the money we sold for raffle tickets. We were able to give out $6,500 to Dakota College of Bottineau here for athletic scholarships.
Oh man, I wish somebody would give me a scholarship. When I went to school to be an I went to school to be an RN actually, and I didn't like the field. Not that I didn't like the job of taking care of people. I just didn't like the field of people I was working with.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined it for me. But I didn't finish school, so 10 years I got to pay on student loans.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're going for before you guys go.
Right.
It'll save you. The most fun I've had is without schooling. Period. Just learning.
Yeah. My daughter, she's got lots of school ahead of her yet, so
What's she going for?
she wants to be a surgeon.
Oh my god. I don't know if I can handle that because if something bad, if somebody didn't make it, like I'd probably take that pretty hard.
Yeah, it'd be tough, but I mean, she's 2 years into school now and hasn't changed her mind. So
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you like it, you like it. Some people just that's their thing. They love it.
yeah,
They want to help people.
yeah. She's got a car sitting in the yard for the Bottineau show there.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad she's coming back to drive. I remember the first time she went out, she wasn't too sure, but
Yeah, and she tried to run in the compact class here now this last summer. A friend of ours give her a car to run, and don't know for sure what happened to it, but she got a couple hits before it quit. She was pretty disappointed in that. She wanted to get out there and have some fun, but
she wanted to fold it like you do.
yeah.
God, I wish I could just pull that one little clip up. That was great. That was in rugby, right?
Yeah. I didn't
I
have
don't.
any steering, so there wasn't much else to do but then
Right.
try and get one good hit in anyway.
It's a good thing a dust devil didn't come along and take you away.
Yeah.
I've never seen such crazy stuff like them dust devils are wild. Tent goes flying 15, 20, 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Land, garbage goes flying everywhere. It's like, oh man. We strap everything down when we're there. We've almost lost a couple cameras from wind catching the tripods dang near, just rolling them right over.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we got some cool giveaways for the kids again this coming year, like we did last year.
God, I wanted that little Jeep. You could have just drove it right over to me. I'd have used the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
Gold Rush.
we won't have the Jeep this year, but we'll have another one of those little mini bikes.
I'll take that too.
And then instead of the Jeep this year, Tractor Supply has given us one of those cool go-karts that they sell for. We're going to give that away too.
Just a heads up, if anybody wants to sponsor me with a little motorbike, or I would drive that thing everywhere with your sticker right on the side of it. It says where to buy it. We can put QR codes on it. I don't even care. See if we can get Royal Purple in on this. By the way, I've been fighting with Royal Purple. Well, it's a one-sided fight because they don't even know I exist. But trying to get them to give me a sponsor. I've spent so much money on their products.
Yeah,
Just got a new turbo put back in my Subaru, so it's hopefully that don't go out again. That was a nightmare.
got it all done and back on the road. Huh?
Yeah, I've been driving it in this weather. You know, you kick her down going 60 on the freeway, and she'll be sideways, still going straight. So it's a lot of fun. But you guys got what was the total payout on that?
This year, this coming year now,
Yeah,
21,000.
NC 17 is a high paying show for most Minnesota shows. Not all, obviously, but
Yeah, that's. I mean, we tried to get enough money to add a little bit to each of those classes and have enough for the youth class to make it worthwhile for them.
yeah, it's like I said, I really am happy. I know it's hard. It's a really hard thing to do because you want to help them, and then nobody builds, and then it's hard. You know, like it's like why have this class if nobody's going to build? But sometimes they maybe they don't have a dad or uncle or a mom that can help them learn how to weld and build a car. So
Right.
sometimes they just need a little help.
Yeah. And we're gonna. I mean, we are running these unified rules, but it's you're gonna have to be a little careful with pushing some of those gray areas and stuff too, because we're gonna run it like we did last year, where if we're not happy with how you built it, hopefully there's not a lot of conflict, but you just won't come off the trailer. It's the way it is.
Right. Well, some of these guys, I mean, I've talked to guys not about your rules specifically, but it was about rules here and there, and it's like they've been building so long that their interpretation of everything is different.
Yeah, you can really read a lot into any set of rules.
Yeah.
You could sit down and have a 20-page, 40-page book of rules, and somebody's going to find a loophole in there somewhere.
I've seen some pretty crazy loopholes. Like what was it? I sponsored a group of guys to go down and run Iowa. It was a team show for compacts, if you remember that.
Yeah.
When they got down there, they realized that you weren't allowed to run a cradle on your engine, but it wasn't against the rules to build a cradle out of your motor mounts.
Oh,
Yeah, so everything was pressured in using motor mount brackets, which I don't understand how it all works, but it made them a lot tougher.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's why you see in a lot of these sets of rules now where it's in right in the rules there that you can't have your stuff pressured in because you can do some weird shit with a car.
I seen it at Gold Rush. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, that's how Tom cut his finger off." Tom Tom Russell cut the tips. Was it one tip, two tip? I don't even know if he's on here. If you're on here, buddy, let me know. Was it one finger or two finger? But anyway, he's missing the end of one of his fingers at least.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of pounds of pressure that gets put on some of that stuff.
I don't understand how everything don't bow out because the goddamn car ain't that strong, is it?
Well,
It is after you get done with it, but let's see. Seth and Alicia Brian, they're running unified compacts in Bottineau. It's good to hear. It sounds like you're already getting quite a bit of support rolling in there.
yeah, it's kind of surprising the little bit of time that it's been out there that the phone calls and texts and stuff that I've gotten. I mean,
I know.
the youth class is one of the main ones that I've been getting texts and stuff about.
What was the biggest difference between the Minnesota and North Dakota rules for the compacts? Because you guys call them Herbies out there. So, like I said, I was confused the first time I heard them, but
Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure what the difference in the rules for Minnesota, North Dakota, and the compacts were, just because I'm not familiar with the compact cars really.
I mean,
That's
if anybody's watching, from what I understood, it was more like a limited weld for your Herbie cars. They were pretty tough, and then Minnesota cars, they're a little bit lighter, I
okay.
believe. But I don't know. I've seen some pretty light cars do some damage, So I don't know. Maybe they're just really good drivers.
Well, that's one of the reasons why there's a couple guys on my crew that, that's pretty much what one of the things they're there for is the Herbie cars, because I'm just not real familiar with them. I'm learning on them, but I've ran one in all the years that I've derbied, and it was just a plain Jane Ford Mustang hatchback. So
Ford Mustang. Oh, like a 86 or 87 or what?
yeah,
Oh, man. Those things are hard to find.
that one sat in my pasture for a long time, and I just decided, well, it's time to do something with it.
I just had to say something like that because, there's always somebody in the comments. And nobody
Yeah.
was in the comments, so I had to say it. But hey, if you think about it, next time somebody tries to chew your butt for wrecking a car, just be like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to bring the price of the other ones up."
But yeah, well, I've wrecked some pretty nice cars out there.
Oh, if I can imagine. I didn't get into it like you guys do. I ran the enduro here. That's actually where I started doing all the filming stuff. My hometown has they do like 4 times a year they'll bring it out, and they say it's unlimited, but if it hits 115 cars, they'll shut it off because there's no room. It's only a 3/8 mile track, and you do first. They have lap counters, and I mean, like there's a quarter of the grandstands are just lap counters, and we had up to 106 one time. And when your car, there's a time clock, and when your car hits 33 laps or 32, the white flag comes out, and then checkered. And the guy that got 33 laps keeps his 33. Everybody else can only get 32 laps. But the Hondas are really good for doing that because they're pretty quick, especially when you hollow them out. They got that VTEC in them. Plus, they're built like a mini Crown Vic in the suspension.
Yeah.
And they're not near as tough, but they're pretty tough for being super light aluminum. And I remember I bought one. It was nicer than my daily. And there was a question about the title, which turned out there was no question at all. It was good. But I didn't wait. I was like, oh, I got to have a race car. Stripped her down and put her in the Enduro.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a 78 or 77 Chrysler New Yorker that a guy had completely restored, and he had it sitting out on the street, and somebody come by and threw something into the windshield and smashed the windshield in it. So it's not like it was a hard fix or anything, but it just broke his heart or whatever. He sold it. So I got it for a pretty good price, and I brought it home and took the rest of the stuff out of it, and in the ring we went. So
yes, sir, I am going to restore this car.
yeah.
You want me to send you pictures of it after it gets paint on?
Yeah.
Mafia TV says wreck them all.
Pretty much.
So
I do have a few cars now that if I run across, I probably wouldn't do it to now, but
I've gotten to know. Well, they started a creator group for a derby, and they invited a bunch of people who make. I'm more of a producer now than I was back then. I was more, I create a lot more content. Mm-hmm. But these guys all come together and they kind of work together here and there. I'm just saying, if any of you guys are out in North Dakota and you want to swing out there, come give them some publicity. Come say hi. I mean, I love working with people, meeting people. Christ, I even pay people to run cameras sometimes if I'm short on staff. So a lot of people are. I mean, I've seen the cops called or heard of the cops called on people just for being at a show with a camera or with a picture camera.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I get it if you're a camera person only, but you got to be versatile. You kind of gotta work with people, blend with people. You gotta do. There's always so much more you got to do than just your basic. Some people use cell phones. Some people use cameras. Some people, like there's just so many different ways of producing content that with all of it together, boy, you really blow everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you don't see it very much at some of these smaller county fair shows and stuff. But I know some of those bigger events, they can get a little upset if they see you with a camera.
Yeah, yeah. I know this year, actually, Sam had told me previous years he had wanted no recording signs up. He just doesn't want people live streaming. He don't care if you take clips and cut clips and throw clips up online and stuff like that. He just doesn't want the full show being released the day after, or like the night of it being done, or the day after.
Yeah. Well, when you're trying to use part of that video money for your revenue for your show and stuff, I can understand that.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we all know Badger was rough, real rough on the pocketbook for Sam, but that's his money. If he loses money in a show, that's his money out of his bank account.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's just gambling with your money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can control the situations a little bit better with advertising and stuff like that. Because I just had this conversation with somebody today that out of all the derby people that I've gotten to meet and talk to, like the guys that are on the track and the guys that are promoting, the majority, like 99% of all of them, know what's going on, what they're doing, things like that. But then you get everybody else who's in the stands, who makes up probably 75% of the derby community itself, is the people in the stands. They don't really know what anything is. They don't know what's actually cheated, what's not cheated. So you end
Right.
up getting some of that drama. But they just want to see sweet cars and hear badass engines. If they're going to have to see these things wrecked, that's what they want to see.
Right.
Do you tell me about the unified full size? Now we're talking about full size cars. We kind of were before, and kind of continued on. I haven't read them, so I don't really know. But if anybody on here was watching, like, what would you tell them about them?
Um, to be completely honest, as far as to completely get those rules memorized, I have to keep reading them over myself. But I mean, it's just an all around good set of rules is about all I can say. It makes it pretty hard for a person to cheat up their car without getting caught. I think, Sam and Tyler and those guys that sat down and made these rules and stuff, they did a real good job trying to make sure there was no loopholes and stuff.
And there's always going to be, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many times you circle back and go through it, there's always going to be that one person. I swear to God, they're like Superman, laser vision.
Right. And I mean,
Right
with
to
that
that.
unified set of rules, with the shows that Sam Crowell's got with Just for Fun and that show of JP's out in Baudette, and then those shows of Tyler's, I think as far as the 70% of people that you're talking about that like to go listen to these cars and stuff, they got a pretty good summer coming up for them, I think.
I'm pretty excited too. I know a lot more than I can talk about because I've literally been sworn to secrecy on some of the stuff. But it looks like it's going to be one bang up summer. We've actually scaled down our shows, and because we've been focusing a lot more on with Sam and the We Crash and the Ultimate Derby stuff. Um, but you guys, I started with you guys, so I love coming and doing your shows. You sponsored me last year. Well, yeah, this is last year now,
Yeah.
and like you have no idea how much that helps, because there's a lot of people, like they always want more, but they don't understand that the money ain't there. Like
Right.
you take a lot of time out of your life and a lot of money out of your bank to do the kind of stuff that we do. And
Right.
with it, I mean,
No, we're definitely happy to give you that sponsorship because you've been at our show every year for the last few years now. So
I love coming up there. Like we were just talking about earlier, the weirdest thing for me was the kids that Minnesota, when I'd hand out stickers, like God, I must hand out thousands of stickers in the summer. I went to hand out stickers and nobody would take any, and I'm like, what in the world? And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, these are all hardworking people. They probably telling their kids not to be taking stuff for free. I didn't even
yeah,
have the van then, to be fair. I didn't even have a van, so I had the Subaru. It wasn't like they had to worry about getting kidnapped or something.
yeah. No, well, this last year you came up, you had Well, you ended up renting a pickup or something, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. I rented for a while. My Subaru actually. Speaking of Austin Derringer's show, my turbo completely shit out, and the fins were gone. They somehow didn't really make it into the engine, but they got into the intercooler, and I had to go through and clean all that out. I didn't even get to work on that for almost 6 months after that. And then even then it took all summer or all winter of, well, I guess fall and winter of replacing hoses and everything else, because you know how they get when that turbo hot and cold, hot and cold. Well, it takes out the rubber hoses, they start cracking.
Yeah,
I just didn't want any more problems, so I just replaced everything.
probably the best.
Well, the next thing's the motor. Everything else has been replaced. I don't think there's an original piece of equipment besides the block in that thing anymore.
No, with our full size class there, I mean, with the payouts we've got for that it's pretty competitive with the other shows around the state, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, besides Dakota, but that's like that's a one off of all the shows that are out there.
Yeah.
You guys, like, if you were having that in the middle of Minnesota, you guys would have so many cars there so fast. Just because, but you guys are competing in a whole different. It's kind of weird to see the politics of all of it. Like seeing how everything flows, what gets people to go, because what makes people go to derbies in North Dakota does not make them go in Minnesota. You
Yeah.
know, people won't go if they don't have a perfect car. Well, in Minnesota, you don't have that luxury. You're probably patching floorboards and trying to hold her together with duct tape and gum.
That comment that come up there about the sponsors being the real heroes, I mean, that's pretty accurate, because
Yeah.
that $21,000 purse, if we didn't have all these sponsors and stuff, he'd probably do more than cut that in half for a total payout.
And that's why we started trying to roll, because we never liked charging anybody. I mean, it's already hard enough for sponsors, for promoters to actually get the money they need for these, to bring these shows in and actually have a good show, and it takes time. So you get 3-4 years of building the show before it really starts to take off. And that money, that little bit of money, that I shouldn't say a little bit. I've seen some of the companies out there running around taking a pretty good chunk of money.
Yeah.
But we've always tried to be uh, affordable, cheap, still able to get your story out there. Like I mean, I'm running better equipment than, you ask the right person. I'm running very outdated equipment, but it's what I can afford. It's what I got, and it does everything I need. So I didn't really need to upgrade.
Right.
But like Sam Williams, he just bought a $5,000 video switcher. I can't buy something like that. Like, I just don't have $5,000 laying on the side unless I pulled my 401k or something,
Yeah.
and I can't do that. So, but like the van, I mean, I bought that van. That was a I'd been looking for a van for a long time, and then my Subaru broke down, and I thought I was still going to be able to make um, Austin's show. And I tried like hell, and by the time I got back that way, I would have missed it by about 4 hours. So the Derby probably would have been over right as I got there.
Yeah.
And I was so bummed out about that's the first show that I've missed without advance notice in a very, well, ever, I think. I'd never had a car breakdown like that. Usually because I maintain the crap out of them, but turbos are another game. They just kind of like, yep, I'm out.
Yeah.
No warning, no nothing.
Do you have a seat in the back of your van now, so that
I do. I
rides in
do.
the back and has some place to sit?
I thought about trying to find a lazy boy, almost like a love seat, and then put it on a swivel if it doesn't have one already, and then you could just lay out on that and sleep in the back. And then when we got to the show and everybody was setting up, I could just turn that thing and I'd be sitting on a big old lazy boy
There
working on
you go.
the stuff, because I got 3 screens, technically 4, and my laptop, and then I have my streaming. I have 2 video switchers. I mean, we ended up using my video switcher for a Gold Rush, because the one we had, uh, we weren't having the problem. It could only pick up green screen graphics, and because the switcher that we were working with didn't have like they just couldn't pull that green screen, so everything had a green hue around it, and I was like, oh my god, that's terrible. I was losing my mind that entire time.
I bet.
Yeah, no, I get they feed us real well down there, but when I'm stressed, I eat a lot of stress food.
Yeah.
And JP learned real early on that if he doesn't want to deal with me being crabby, he brings me. So what he does, he goes and gets like €1, and then comes back and he hands it to me before he even talks to me. Hands it to me and goes, "Here you go, man. You looked hungry." And then he'll wait for me to start eating, then he'll come talk to me business.
I'll have to remember that.
I get hangry. I'm kind of a Nancy when I'm getting hungry. And Trullo Adams is on here. Appreciate all the hard work you put in all years. Thanks again for making it out to Pine Point this past summer. I wish I could have made it twice, man. I ended up getting way too buried with the Gold Rush graphics and videos and stuff that I didn't end up making it out for that second show, which felt kind of bad about that too, because he's been there was 2 different promoters for that show this year. First one was Trullo, and then the second one, God, why am I having? I can't even think of names right now. But tomorrow I'll remember it. But he invited me out, and then I didn't make it. And I felt kind of bad. And then they had a rollover I seen, which is like, oh god, I wish I would have got that. But I don't know if you've ever been to Pine Point, but it's like a hole in the ground, and the banks are actually super high. So if you go up the bank on a car, it doesn't look bad on video, but in the car you're straight up and down.
Oh, yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah, it's a unique track, that's for sure. There's a lot of fun going out there. The people love Derby, and they get all amped up for it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, this Bottineau show.
Dylan Jackson, that's what it was. It was Dylan Jackson.
Okay. I got permission from Sam over there just for fun too to put out there that the Bottineau show will be part of their North Dakota points that he's doing. So
that's awesome. I like them point series. It gives you something to work towards. And I mean, even if it isn't something that people use competitively, it shows exactly who's supporting you.
Right.
You know? And at the end of the year, people that support you, like Josh Stock, he does banquets. He does like a banquet at the end of the year. And it used to be at Thumper Pond. We used to all go over there. We'd have some drinks and eat some food, and I'd make some videos, and we'd watch the videos, and he'd give out gifts and random drawings, and damn Putt Nation would go and win every time. Their one table won all the gifts. But it's a lot of fun. It draws that group in, gets them closer. People. That's the one thing that I see when there's issues is lacking, is the fact that people don't want to get along, or they can't get along.
Right.
And it causes a bunch more problems. But most of the people I've worked with are real good. I've run into a couple shitty people, but you're always going to have that, no matter what you do.
Oh yeah.
Go live the dirt track life. No, not for me.
I tried that for one race, and then I sold my car. So
in Derby, if you get mad at somebody, you can ram them. You ram somebody out there, and you'll be making the front page of the news.
Yeah.
I seen that guy. That was just on the news. A couple years ago? The guy hit the track, hit somebody who was fighting with a shovel, and got attempted. It was attempted manslaughter, or
oh geez.
It was a felony. They went to prison for. I don't know if they went to prison, but they could have went to prison.
Yeah. Now it seems like every summer you get a video that pops up here and there of one that got mad at another one and went and smashed into him, and then pretty soon there's one of them outside trying to beat on his head, but he's wearing a helmet.
I don't understand that either. Punching a guy right in the top of the helmet. Yeah, I'm sure he feels it.
Yeah.
Keep it up. It's all dangerous though, man. Like, I give props to you and everybody else who drives and puts their time in on all this stuff. I mean, I've seen people lose fingers. He kind of foreshadowed that one himself. That's another story. But young kid lost all of his fingers. Um,
Yeah.
put a real quick end to his date, Pamela. But
Yeah, and you see a lot of close calls out there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I've seen bumpers go through doors, and I know Tate had a bumper go through his door and dang near take out his Weibos.
Yeah.
Like that's no thank you. And then you see people complaining that red flags are coming out to clear debris, but like when an axle comes out and it breaks off and it's just big enough to come up through the floorboards, could you imagine that coming up through your seat?
Right.
You know,
There's a if we stop the show to grab something out of there, there's usually a safety reason for it.
well, and that's one thing about your shows, and that's I don't tend to keep going to shows where they're dangerous like that, where they'll leave stuff on the track and people could get hurt. Because I can't film that. Like, I won't film that. If you ever watch the stuff when we're filming for We Crash or for High Octane, the instant that we think somebody's hurt, the cameras turn.
Yeah.
And we film other stuff because nobody wants to see their family member getting pulled out of a car, mangled, or bleeding, or anything like that.
Right.
There was a guy when you were at Howard. Was it when you were at Howard Lake? That guy got his throat cut from the
Yep.
seat and got out of the car and ran across the track and then passed out. And then the girl, right on the other side of where I was filming, seen the blood. Her she had diabetes or something, and her blood sugar dropped at the same. I don't know if it was all at the same time or because of one or the other. I don't really know how it all works, but she passed out. Now we have somebody dang near falling down the steps. It's just one thing into another.
Yeah. No, that was kind of crazy.
He was driving was that Ford Thunderbird?
I think so. Was something
I
along
really,
that line anyway.
I really like those. I've only seen a few people be able to pull them off, but they seem to have to be driven harder than they are in order to make them hold together.
Right. Yeah, you don't see very many Thunderbirds out there.
No, but every time I do, it's a show, and I love it. They're so little, you don't realize how little those things are until they get stripped down and they're sitting next to a big car. Because was it Big Rick out of Long Prairie? The first year I went to Gold Rush, he had one of those, and they pull in, and he obviously backed in. And as soon as that green flag dropped, he just gunned her. He was the one that tipped the guy over that got mad after he got tipped over and then went across track and shoved that guy out over the bank. That it was all started right there with Rick. He puts on a veteran show. I mean, I don't even know what the date is, but I know it's in the middle of the year. He'd asked me to come film. I was busy, but I really wanted to go film that show. If you've ever been to Long Prairie, that's a crazy track.
Yeah, that's one place I've never been.
Yeah, they have a cemetery on one side because they used to do truck pulls, right? But truck pulls are pretty much dying off for tractor pulls. And they had the last tractor pull they had or truck pull they had. One of the trucks actually went through the fence into the cemetery.
Oh,
So I don't know if they got rid of them or what happened there, but I've kind of been seeing that all around. Like the horses aren't bringing the people anymore. The tractor pulls ain't really pulling it, but the demos seem to usually pack the stands pretty good.
yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of these fair boards they're kind of looking at it. I've met legit fair boards who they just love Derby and they want to see the best they can get. Like when we go to Iowa, you guys over there in Bottineau, you guys try your damnedest and you do a great job doing it. And just traveling all over, but then you get to some that it's all about money for them. They want to make every dime and they don't care if you lose. Everybody lost $50 in the process.
Right. No, actually, to be honest, thinking about it, I don't think I was ever to a show over in Minnesota until I started coming over for some of your stuff and JP's show and stuff.
It's a little different over here. Rule sets are different though. I think that's all it is. Because I mean, you look at Garen in a North Dakota rule set, and he looks like he's begging. I gave him crap about it one time. He's like, "I am not a beggar," and then he went to the state fair and he just decimated everybody. Like he was just hitting everybody. He didn't care.
Yeah.
But you give him a hard car like he was at Gold Rush there, and he hits hard.
Oh yeah, he's a heck of a driver.
You guys have a lot of for per population. You guys have a ton of good drivers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, one of your best compact drivers is a female.
Yep.
And I see her all the time. I mean, when my daughter gave you the hug after the show at the state fair, she went over and got to meet her, and she was so impressed that she was a girl, because and she had to ask all the questions and get a picture with her, and
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, her and her dad, they're the ones that have that decal that I sent you that you like so much, that Munson Collision and Customs or whatever.
yeah, that logo is awesome. By the way, if they're watching, that's a great logo. I like that.
Yeah, they're sponsoring the best paint job again this year in Bottineau. So
I mean, and that's another thing where Derby people tend to sponsor and help out with Derby, and it takes the village. It takes the village. I mean, you got one guy pumping out $1,000 or 1,000 people pumping out 2,000. Sorry, I thought 2,000 people pumping out $2 a piece. And, 2,000 versus whatever.
yeah, and I mean the purse that we've got for Bottineau, that's the guaranteed amount, and for some reason we end up where more pops up between now and then, it'll probably get added to places like the Mad Dogs and stuff like that.
I've noticed a huge shift to Mad Dogs this year already, and it was starting to go that way last year. But like it was, Mad Dogs were like 500, at a lot of places all the time. At bigger shows, stuff like that, where they're paying a lot more to win. While these guys they're playing the long game because they want to win that big money. Well,
Yeah.
what happens when the Mad Dogs making about just as much or more? I mean, look at Badger with Mickelson.
Yeah.
I've never seen a car jump from another car to hit another one. I don't think it was on purpose, but it was pretty epic to watch.
Yeah. No, I mean we've got that $1,000 Mad Dog for the full size and $750 for the compacts right now, and that's just kind of where I've got it set at, just to be safe. And if nothing changes between now and then, that's where it'll be.
Well, if I come into a bunch of money, I will sponsor a high priced Mad Dog. I'm pretty broke these days.
I know the feeling.
Oh, I spent too much money, and now I'm just going to take me a year to pay it back, I think.
Yeah.
But that's what you got to do. Everything you love or you're trying to do, like me for video, I'm always buying new equipment, trying to trying new things. Some of the stuff I got, Christ, I can show you right here. I got brand new stuff and just sitting on my desk here that I've never used, that I ordered, that I thought I was going to need or I might need in the future. Or
yeah, it seems like every time that I meet up with you at a show or something, you're telling me, well, I just picked this up, but it'll help me with this type of stuff.
I'm working on building something besides my business and other, like businesses wise, just separate from business. I'm trying to build something that will benefit the entire Derby community as a whole, as far as like advertising and stuff like that. I should have it together by 2027, but it takes a long time to get everything together. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell anybody what it is, because there's people with more time than me that can do it way faster. And this is an idea I've had for a while. I finally got the equipment to do it, and that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have to worry too much about losing the places that you got right now, because unless you do a 180 and start really screwing up.
Oh, that's my MO. Went to Gold Rush, did awesome. The second year I was there, we were doing, we had our issues here and there, but we were doing awesome. And then the power got unplugged.
Yeah.
Everything went down. Oh, so Sam had to stop the heat coming in. I could feel him burning a hole through the back of my head. Like I knew he was there without actually knowing he was there.
Yeah, I know you're busy down there, because I messaged you a couple times, but I didn't see you one single time down there.
Well, Kenny Donovan actually just posted this.
Okay, that's unless he backs out on me and decides that he doesn't want to do it. That's my head tech. So that's
Well,
cool.
thank you, Kenny, for what you do. Besides just donating an extra 500 for the Mad Dog, but for the tech and keeping everybody fair. I know it's a stressful thing, and you get yelled at, and nobody really appreciates it until you catch something that could have hurt somebody. You know, and you do it every day.
No, Kenny's a good guy. He's actually my cousin. Besides, he did the same thing last year. He put some money towards a Mad Dog for us. So
I threw 300 at that Mad Dog brawl they had at Gold Rush. I didn't even know
yeah,
how much it was up to. I was just like, "What? They're doing this for the Mad Dog? All right." And I just went down and threw money at it and came back up. And Sam's like, "You didn't have to do that." He goes, "I would have put your name on there." I'm like, "That's not what it's about. Like, I'm just trying to support those that I want to see driving."
yeah, that Mad Dog down there that kind of escalated quickly.
Oh yeah, well, it's hard to do when you got teams out there already, you know. So I was pretty bummed out when my boys got targeted first and taken out right away.
Yeah,
And then it was Bent Brothers right after that, and it was like, oh man, all those guys have done so much for me over the years of doing filming, working with me to help me get certain shots or you know even audio clips or being able to talk to them, sit down and do like garage interviews with them and stuff like that. That's something you're going to start seeing more of from me. Is I'll start traveling to do those type of things. Now that I'm kind of backing away from my job, I just got to make sure finances are all right because I spend a lot of money, or I did spend a lot of money, and now I
yeah,
probably make half that. So it's like, ooh, all right, let's calm down here. I better go cancel my cards, or I'm gonna go in the hole. it's I got so many subscriptions that I pay for, so I can have textures and audio and things like that. It's crazy. I think I figured it out once I was spending $1,000 a month just on subscriptions.
yeah.
But that's where like sponsor money helps us out. It may not pay for it all, but boy, does it help to get rid of a couple months of it.
Oh yeah,
Plus, we're running satellite internet, you know, things like that for live streaming. That costs. We have to pay for unlimited because you don't ever know. 50 gigs ain't very much. You burn through that pretty fast, a show or two.
right.
But then when you are doing like we were doing like 3 4 shows a weekend, I mean, you burn it up, it's nothing. So you got to pay the 150, 160 a month or whatever. But Mafia TV says change the game or try it. That's what I've been trying to do for a long time.
Yeah,
Some people like me, some people hate me. What can you do?
yeah. You can't leave something the same year after year after year and expect it to just get better. You
Right.
gotta adapt with it.
Well, I've heard a little bit about what Sam Williams has got going on for Gold Rush this year, and you want to talk about somebody who's bound and determined to make Derby the best thing out there. I'd keep an
Yeah,
eye on him. He's pulling at every cord to see what people want to see, and he's working on it.
yeah.
He's a busy man too. That guy. I'll tell you what. If he answers the phone for you, you should be on your knees praying to God. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd like to see more people like Mafia TV. He actually lives in New Jersey. I was just talking to him the other day. I could not live in New Jersey. It's too many people.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of traveling. I think. Are you a paramedic, Mafia? I think he's a paramedic or something like that.
Oh,
But he goes out and he runs from show to show to show to show. You know, all over like we do. There's quite a few out there in New York though, and he just keeps going. I mean, he's I see he's been using a little AI and then that's a little AI and has been changing the game for a lot of people. I had to learn the hard way, the long way on how to do a lot of this stuff, and I'm sure they did too. But then you get a little bit of help once you figure out how to talk to AI, and it's great.
yeah. Yeah. I don't really completely understand the whole AI thing yet, but
You just I'll tell you sometime how to do it. I'm not gonna say it on here, but Anybody who uses it understands. It's just think of it as talking to a 2-year-old, and you got to teach it.
Yeah. Yeah, the extent of my AI would be like the Snapchat.
Yeah. Snapchat's gotten pretty crazy with their AI filters.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't even realize that they could do a lot of that because I don't really mess with it. I have it for business and talk to people here and there or post stuff, but like I started looking at the filters. I'm like, well, Jesus, you got to pay a lot of money to have something like this.
Yeah.
Some of these sites. So you kind of watched like us all year. What was your favorite thing about what we did, or what was your favorite thing that we did as a video company?
Um, I guess I like to see being out talking to the drivers and different things, doing the interviews and stuff like that. That's probably my favorite part about it, just for the fact that, you know, this guy might have won a derby and it might just be a county fair show or whatever, but they get to feel a little bit like they're in the spotlight by sitting down and talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, we had see Dwayne was really really good at that. I mean, he'd go out in the crowd, he'd get them all worked up, he'd be pumping his hands in the air, they'd be screaming. I mean, he had rapids going crazy when he was there the last time. Um, I wasn't quite there when he got married, so I'm still I'm still learning. I'm not much for drawing attention to myself, I guess. Like a lot of times people they always thought Dwayne owned the company because he was the face. I mean, he was always on, he was on the podcast, he was in every video. And I would actually be standing next to him. People would walk up and be like, I really appreciate what you're doing. You're doing awesome with your company and da da da. And I just smile and I go, there you go. But I'm not after fame in any shape, way, or form. Like I would rather it just be because with fame comes a lot of negativity. Um, you're expected to be perfect. There's expectations set. For example, if I'm doing a live stream as we crash and we mess up, it's the end of the world. But if I mess up on my own live stream, people are probably upset, but they're not so mad that they go online and say things that like "go kill yourself" and shit like that. You know, it's
Right.
people are mean.
Yeah. And no, I mean, like when you guys go to a show and stuff, as long as you have the different vantage points available and stuff. I mean, like even for Bottineau, you were able to get it from a couple different angles where everybody could pretty much see what was going on.
Yeah, it's the there's always perfect angles, but everybody's perfect angles different.
Right.
So like I prefer backed up cameras off the bank. Alex from All for Him, he loves being on the bank. Like that's where he wants to be. But he also makes sure he runs a camera that he can replace if it gets hit with a rock. If my lenses get hit with a rock, that's $2,000 a camera, and it happened at Gold Rush where I got a big old smudge on one of my lenses. I'm going to have to actually replace the camera eventually because it messes with the autofocus when the sun hits it.
Okay.
But equipment wise, now I can hide most of it in the van,
Yeah.
which is really nice. Packing up. I mean, that was the biggest thing when you got to a show was packing, unpacking, getting everything ran, set up, things like that. Now I roll up. You pretty much just have to run wires and to the cameras, set the cameras up. My cameras now run on huge battery packs. They could do 5, 6 shows and not have a problem. They wouldn't die.
Yeah.
But when you met me, I was looking for batteries that they originally came with, trying to find one that had a charge after the last 3 days. Forgot to throw them on the charger on the way to the show. Or we're trying to eliminate all those easy to mess up things, and we're trying to make it so that we have more reliability over extended period of time.
Yeah. That first year it was you and Dwayne and a whole bunch of stuff running in on the Subaru.
Yep. Oh God. Yeah. No, that we hit a fox that night, the night before we got there, doing a buck 10. I think we cut his tail off, but he was crossing right. he was on the bridge. I don't know what he was doing on the bridge, but there's a weird bridge that you guys have that like curves and it like has a hill in it. And at least that's what it looked like. I was probably tired too. And this fox comes running out, and both of us didn't say a word. And I look in the mirror after we went by, and I'm like, I think he lost his tail. He's like, dude, I thought your whole bumper was going to explode because that was a pretty big fox.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly doing 110. I would never speed.
Well, I'm sure not.
That's the only way to make it to shows sometimes. When Jacqueline's on here, she took pictures at your last show.
Yep. No, both her and me and McCabe Photography both did a heck of a job at the show last year taking pictures.
There's a lot of good people in the world, especially in the derby world, but not everybody is compatible. And over the last, especially the last 3 years, because I mean, I didn't really start demo till about 3 years ago, but I did, mud trucks and racing, ice racing. It didn't matter as long as I had a motor, I'd film it. And I've gotten to know these groups of people like Jacqueline. She's an amazing person.
Yes, she
and
is.
and I'm like, if I got to give you a high octane shirt and you can just walk into shows because you have a high octane shirt on, I will give you a high octane shirt so you can go take pictures. And she's been pretty heavy at it. Not only does she do that, but then she does like couples pictures or personal pictures for people and things like that. And they're awesome. If you haven't seen them, they're on Instagram, probably on Facebook too.
Yeah. No, well, the stuff I see her post, it's of a whole wide array of different things. It's not just the derby and the racing and stuff.
Yeah, she's got a very wide portfolio, and that's going to help her a ton in the future. But I would take her with me everywhere we go. She's good. She's good with what she does.
Yeah.
Very pleasant person to be around. That's the same thing with a lot of the guys. I mean, you got to meet James this year, correct?
Yeah.
And James, he's real shy and reserved. He was trying to learn how to live stream with cell phones and I want to say like a wireless mesh or something like that. And he was trying to figure out how to do it. And he caught so much crap online, and people were using my company name to drag him down, wishing that I was there and doing this. And I actually took him in. I was like, dude, you want to learn how to do this? I'll do this. I can't sit here and watch somebody hurt you and your name using my company.
Right.
Well, now the kid lives upstairs. He builds things like he built me a server. Very smart kid. Very smart kid. He has a lot of potential. He's just young. You got to kick him in the ass once in a while, get him moving.
Yeah.
But we need those type of people across the board, whether it be for me, for you, for the fairs. I mean, I just watched one of the best derbies at the fall cleanup shows close because they didn't have enough fair board members. It wasn't the money. The money was not the problem. They just couldn't get anybody to want to volunteer for the fair, and they finally just decided to shut it down. Well, now you lose your nonprofit, and I know a little bit about that because I went through it with the track here. But once you lose your nonprofit, good luck getting it back.
Yeah.
Because they changed the laws since a lot of these places got their nonprofits.
Yeah, and I mean it's being on the fair board, because I jumped on our fair board about a year ago now, and you constantly have people, well, how come you don't have bigger bands, and how come you don't have this and that, and just the cost of everything is outrageous.
I learned that with JP when they brought Hairball in.
Yeah.
I know Hairball is good, but when I seen them, they were a cover band at the casino has a big thing over here about a couple hours from my house every year. At least they used to until the guy that was running it died. But they were just a cover band. Now they're making $80,000-$90,000 every time they go somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, because we've had them at the Bottineau Fair before, and we've been asked about them and stuff since then. And yeah, just the amount of money it takes for something like that even now is just you can't really justify it at a small show like this.
Right.
small county fair.
But sometimes that one thing helps the show be big. It's all a big game of gamble, and that's a lot of money to gamble with.
Right.
It's but then again, like I've gotten to know you, JP, the people that I work with, the people that I'm around, they have to have the motivation to want to be better, to do better. Or I personally have a really hard time working with somebody because I do need somebody to kick me in the butt once in a while too to get me moving. Like Sam Williams is really good at motivating me to get things done. He's like, "Well, we could hire somebody, but you think you could do this?" And I'll sit there for a week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months trying to figure out how to do something. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time and motivation, more or less.
Yeah. Well, now with this show, it's the 5th year coming up that I've done it, and I'm still learning stuff as far as the promoting end of it. So
Oh, you really wanted to be hated by everybody, didn't you?
yeah,
I think that's if you want to be hated by everybody and lose friends over nothing, something stupid, be a promoter.
yep,
You
pretty
guys
much.
get it worse than anybody.
Oh, it's really easy though.
Well, I mean, that's like when John Muse got his stick broke at Gold Rush there. John was not happy, but unbeknownst to UD, he was also running for points in the Unified Point Series for Mark Elliott,
Oh,
and because he got his stick broke, which honestly was, if you're looking at the picture, if they were willing to break his stick, they're willing to break everybody's stick.
yeah,
So it was almost the best choice, but they didn't realize. I mean, I don't think it was going to make much of a difference, but it might have. The fact that now he lost the point series as well when he was only doing what everybody else was doing at that time.
right.
Yeah, no, I've seen pretty much every one of these drivers drive hard. I've seen them drive soft. I mean, everybody's got their thing. I've seen Mickelson get airborne, and then he went to Gold Rush, and his luck wasn't as good. I tell you what, I wasn't disappointed. I've never seen somebody keep a car alive for 20 minutes, spinning circles and slapping them with the rear end of it before, but he
Right.
did it. I was cheering
Yeah,
for him.
it definitely wasn't a crowd pleasing performance, but it kept him in it, and that's
Yeah.
you do what you got to do.
Well, it's just like when you were at the year you were at the North Dakota State Fair both years I filmed there, right?
Yeah,
Or no, one year I didn't and one year I did
yeah.
because I
Well,
couldn't.
you were supposed to the other
Yeah.
year.
Well, that year wasn't it the first year. Somebody actually came out, lost a tire coming on a track, and then I don't know if that was the heat that happened at. Anyway, he lost that same tire during the feature, whether it be from when he came on the track or whatever it was. He ended up winning that when everybody got stuck in that corner.
Yeah,
I mean, so never give up. You never know. You can win. I see people lose a tire and they break their stick right away. It's like,
yeah,
I get it's hard on a car, but if you're trying to win, you can win.
yeah. I don't know. I've always been told you do not break your stick until they tell you you have to break your stick. So
Or you just pretend like you're working on something under the dash and
yeah,
let that thing run out for a while. I've seen a lot of. I mean, that's a pretty well known one, but like when I was watching, was it the first year I filmed Gold Rush? I didn't understand it as well until then, but like the little tricks that these guys do, that they know how to work the officials to keep their eyes off of something, whether it be to keep somebody from getting counted out. They'll actually drive counted out until the flag flies. Well, boom! Everybody else that they weren't paying attention to now is on a fresh clock,
right.
and that's actually, I think, playtime kind of lost that way, and it's only part of the game. Uh, but Austin Butler didn't have any steering, and they just happened. I want to say it was Bando. It just happened to get around right, or maybe it was one of his teammates, but he got around just right, hit him, and it was over.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm starting to learn some stuff.
Yeah.
Not going to be building a car tomorrow, but I'm learning. It's a chess and checkers match.
Wow.
These guys are crazy. I can't the things they do. I will always applaud you guys for everything you do when it comes to building these cars. I'm just amazed every time I see them.
No, there's a lot of time that goes into that stuff.
And even a light build. I've watched these promoters ram these stock vehicles with these light built cars, and they go right through them like they're
Yeah.
butter. That's just crazy. I suppose I've been kind of dragging it out, talking nonstop. Is there anything we missed that we want to talk about, or
I think we covered pretty much everything. And then if we'll have Sloan's going to work on a flyer for me, and then we'll have that out. And if there's any questions or whatever, my phone's usually on. So
well, it's a good family environment up there too. You got the Turtle Mountains. There's turtles everywhere out that way. If you guys haven't seen the big turtle on the Arctic Cat sled, you got to go see it at least once in your life.
that's a skidoo, not an Arctic Cat.
Yeah, skidoo. You're right. Sorry. But the thing is, like 3 stories high? It's a pretty big turtle.
Yeah, it's a big turtle. Tommy the turtle.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I've been places. I've been all over the place, and very rarely do you get to see something like that. Like that's kind of a treat to see because it's abnormal.
Yeah.
I've been places where there was a valley and it was pretty much straight up and down, and they built roads. They were bound and determined. They built roads and straight up churches. It looks cool as can be, and it's probably the only time I'm ever going to see it. But it wasn't a turtle on a skidoo.
Yeah.
Well, they got a campground out there and stuff too, right? So with running water and showers. So if anybody actually wanted to go out and watch and they couldn't afford to get like a hotel, they could actually stay at a campsite, right?
Yeah, there's camper parking and stuff right there in Bottineau at the Tommy Turtle Park. Then we've got our, Lake Metagoshi recreation area up not far from Bottineau, and there's camping and lots of different stuff up there for people to do. So
yeah. Well, before we jump off here, though, I do want to give a shout out to sponsors. Being that you're one of them, I might as well have you on here. Schwartz Build LLC. I just seen a video from him. They build trucks, like real nasty trucks. He was in a bad accident, but he's back out driving again. And boy, when you hear those things if it was even a fraction of the build when he builds a deck compared to how he builds that thing, you're gonna have a grade A deck. But you hear him and his brother roll out, and those things are just chitter and chatter. And you know what? I'm just gonna load that video up because I talk about that thing all the time. I'd love to see it. We got they spawn. Well, this is kind of the wrap up the year, I guess, for sponsors because they were sponsors last year. I'd hope to see every sponsor again, but not everybody has it in the financials. We just appreciate anything we get help with. There was a point in time where I thought about being a stripper. Yeah, right. I wouldn't make any money, but trying to find your logo. But well, now I'm clicking on something. We got Pickett Auto. That's one that we haven't really talked about. My cousin owns a auto shop. They do mainly diesels and tuning for diesels and stuff like that. I want to say it's Foston. They're out of Foston. I could be wrong. Could be. It's right by Bagley, Minnesota. If only I could find everything. My brain. We had this talk before we even jumped on here. My brain has been so skittered, because I've just been crazy trying to get things done, trying to remember everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you pay attention to the We Crash podcast. That'll be next week. I think they're doing it every other week.
Okay.
They're bringing on some people from that won the Bristol.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be bringing one of those guys on, and I think they have an announcement or two to make that I can't talk about. They're building Gold Rush up. Everybody wants to be NASCAR. We just want to be something of our own. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
Just build build your own thing, and people either like it or they don't, and that's ain't much else you can do about it.
No.
But I suppose I will let you get going. I'll keep you on here all night. I haven't talked to anybody all day. I've been in a truck all day.
Yeah.
Much different than I was when I first started doing these, that's for sure. I'd be like 15 minutes in and I'd run out of things to say, and I'd be like, well, I suppose we'll let you go then. God, if I could only find that. But yeah, they had Zach Johnson on last week and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
Sam backed up now, and so now it's Parker Lazenby, who I don't have any video of him driving hard, but we missed almost every big hit he took or he gave out in Utah because he jumped in one of the team cars.
Oh,
The original guy got hurt, and then the guy that filled that in got hurt, and he was in commentary, and then he jumped in the car. He got hurt too, but guys are crazy. But anyway, Bottineau County Fair,
yep.
and Shawn Soland has been they sponsored last year, and we really appreciate everything you guys have done. JP was phenomenal at shout outs for sponsors. I'm pretty bad at it, but just know I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
And here's to another year making things better, trying to.
Yeah. Only up from here.
That's right. Well, I don't know if you want to do it with me, but do you remember the closing line here?
I think so.
Or just remember, it's all about the experience. You have a good one, and we will talk to you later, Shawn, and we will be seeing you out in Bottineau. Hope we see all you guys out there too.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's trying to play the We Crash outro. Well, I can't even play the outro. I'm learning. What can I say? We'll just play this. This will be the end. You guys have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. You hardcore 3-4 people that have been in here nonstop. You guys are the guys that keep me doing this. Going and watching over I don't get a whole lot of time to spend time in it, but the Derby creator community, there's a really big issue with people and mental health when it comes to this stuff because they put their all into it and then people just shred them. Sometimes legitly for a reason, sometimes not for any reason other than being jealous and upset. I learned the hard way. I went through it myself. I thought that I sat in Iowa with my hand under, just like this. I didn't know what to do. And I sat there for like an hour and I was like, I don't belong here. And maybe I don't, but I'm going to keep trying. But be easy on the people who are creating the content. We're not all perfect. We're all coming from different angles. And even if it ain't something you like, they're putting their time and their hard-earned money into this to bring this stuff in. It's really devastating when you have literally given up half your life, maybe caused problems in your family, whatever it might be. And then to go online, I read online stuff sometimes, but very rarely. When something goes wrong, I won't read online because people are so vicious that they make you want to quit. And I don't want to quit. I'm too far into this. I've gone too far into it. So I have had taken precautions to try to not allow myself to feel that way. Some creators have not learned how to do that yet and are not mentally stable. They feel like they're failing. Nobody ever tells them they're doing good, anything like that. I thankfully have a lot of good people around me that like to like try to keep, even if I don't agree with them, they're still trying to bring me up, trying to make me feel better. And I appreciate every one of you guys that do that. See, I didn't swear there. Just take care of those around you. Watch out. If somebody's doing something to help the community, I understand that not everything that everybody does is helpful or good, but they might not understand. They might not see that. And to tear them down mentally, some people can't handle it. I mean, we aren't welders and builders. We run cameras and drive cars to and from events. And we were on the road. We probably only slept an hour, 2 hours in between shows before we had to set back up and go back at it again to make sure that we got another show. I don't want to see somebody hurt themselves because you couldn't be nice, more or less is the way I think. Treat these guys good. Tell them they're doing a good job. I love working with other creators. I don't really so much watch their work because I don't ever want to steal their ideas. Maybe that was their flagship idea, and then I come along and steal it and just run with it like it was my thing. That ain't right. But I like to take them in, maybe give them opportunity. I'm not a person that'll grab your hand and drag you to the opportunity, but I try to give you the best opportunity that I can. And if you take it and you run with it, good job. I know Mr. JP Sweet here, who's making fun of my outro. He got an opportunity. He took it. Guess what? He just was announcing a Gold Rush and he did phenomenal. He did awesome. That doesn't mean that we're mentally okay while we're doing it because we are tired. We haven't eaten. We haven't slept. We haven't, sometimes in days. Maybe cat naps here and there when we can. Just be kind. That's all I'm asking. I don't even care if it's kind to me because I'm pretty thick-skinned these days. But when there's other creators out there and they're trying and they're just getting started, they're not going to be where the rest of us are. They're going to be at the bottom starting. And I've seen a lot of them get support, and it's awesome. I'm glad to see it. It's this. I feel this sport needs more people to make it a good thing. For, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. It needs more people that care and want to see it be the best. But not everybody's gonna be the best. I'm not the best. I'm far from the best, but I try and I show up every day and I keep trying. And if these guys are doing that, pat them on the back, tell them good job, make their day. It'll probably make their month. There's not a lot of people that go out of their way to make sure that people feel that they're actually doing the right thing and they're doing a good job at it. Because we could do the best thing ever and then go back and look at our work and be like, it was all right. Could have done a lot better. But when you compound 100 negative comments on top of that, you feel like a failure. Just remember, guys, keep it up. JP Sweet is a good example of how you take an opportunity and you make sure that you don't let that go away. I mean, we all get, you don't get very many opportunities in life, and take them when you got them. They ain't going to just be given to you, that's for sure. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, actually, next Saturday, 7 o'clock, I'll be back. Thanks, guys.
Hey, everybody, I'm Sam Williams with Ultimate Derby, and you're watching High Octane Media.